All right. So after discussion about this fundamental things of the sessions and the topics that we are going to cover here, I'm going to start the recording. And here it is. We are with the new topic of discussion. So you may find here, if I walk you through, right, some modules are there till 1.5 and directly 2.1, 2.2 and all. So this is the sequence naming convention. There was nothing which was present and which was deleted, something like that, right? There was nothing like that. All the notebooks are in sequence and gonna do each and every task. Mind you, the concepts that we are learning are too many. On projects, we may not be, use all these concepts at once. हो सकता है 6-6 महीने 1-1 साल तक हम लोग इन सारे कॉन्सेप्ट्स का यूज भी ना करें. बहुत ही लिमिटेड कॉन्सेप्ट्स पे ही काम करना पड़ सकता है. But then we should know all the things considering the experience that we are bringing in or we are showing in and the requirement of completing the certification as well, which will boost your profile, right? So contents are many and we are going to cover each and every concept which is required for these tasks. So with this, again, we know all the primitive data types that we can use: the integers, the long, the double, the float, the strings, right? However, in your data sets, we have also observed that there are certain complex or the collection types as well. And I hope you remember that I've asked you to read about collect set, collect list functions, and some part of it we've covered also, some part we will cover later. And I believe that you're looking at the external examples as well while you explore these functions outside, right, on Google or any other blog or sources. So the complex data types include arrays, structs, maps, lists in the Python, dictionaries, right? So will we really be using dictionaries in PySpark? Depends on the requirement, right? All the collection data types that you've learned definitely are useful in the Spark applications as well. All right, so here in this, we're gonna learn about the built-in functions for working with the collection types and the strings. The objective is to apply those functions to process arrays and union the data frames. So there are some functions you might have worked on, union and union all and all. However, there is a new function over here that we'll see in the notebook itself, which is this. Right? I hope this is visible. Yeah. So the data frame method that we are gonna look is union by name, and the functions that we are gonna use is the collect set, array contains element at explode and. Did you ever see the explode function before? Yes, no? In what? The word count using the data frame API. The hello world, wherein you grouped the data, with respect to words, and wherein there was no one to attach and perform the summation or reduce by key nahi hai wahan pe. So those who were saying no, that means they have not completed the assignment of word count on to data frames. Right now? Might be completed but not able to recall. So that's where explode is used to explode the elements out of the collection items, the arrays, the lists, etc. So here we look at these functions today. I am done with the classroom setup wherein all the data sets are mounted, and we are gonna use this one is the data set, which is the sales data from the Bedbricks application, right? And I'm creating the data frame DF from this sales path. The sales path is the input path predefined for the sales Parquet files, right? Located on DBFS, is it? Or mounted on DBFS? The files which are mounted on DBFS, the original locations of these files are the original locations of these files are S3 buckets, like our blob on Azure, S3 on AWS, which is mounted or used by the Databricks itself, right? We are using their hosted data sets. So Databricks, when you create a cluster at the backend, you are using the AWS, on where they have made these data sets available for all the users, general users. Anyone can use it. Okay, so that is why they are coming in a MNT folder, not into file store tables. You can upload those by downloading the data sets using display commands over here. Am I right? Yes. So observe the schema of this data frame, right? The schema is we have some columns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 columns. All 6 columns, order ID long, email strong, timestamp string, email string, timestamp is long, item quantity purchased is long, revenue is double, unique items is long. All these are the primitive types, and here we have the array. The elements is the column. Here it is. Sorry, the items is the column, right? In which we have the elements subdivided into different data types, right? So here we are, the items are in an array, right? The square bracket, right now, and this is the array of subtypes, right? So we have the sub columns in the items K column, we have sub columns, right? The keys, the coupon applied, the item ID purchased, the item name, the item revenue, the price, and the quantity of items purchased in that transaction. That item, particular item, right? So we'll mostly be dealing with these array data today. Of course, we're dealing with the other data types as well, right? So this is the data frame with order ID, email, transaction, timestamps, the total item quantity purchased, right? So if I click on this, it will arrange my data into reverse order. So total items quantity, I've just, because I wanted to show you most of the things were one, right? If a user is coming in and purchasing something, he or she is purchasing only one item. Some users are there who are purchasing more than one, right? So here it is, the total items quantity 5, 4, 3, whatever it is with respect to the respective email ID and the order ID. However, if you go in this, this will be having more data than usual than the other rows, because there are 5 items purchased. There was no item which was purchased in more than one quantity. So all 5 were unique. Right now, there was no item purchased in more than one quantity. इसीलिए पांचों इससे unique items purchased in that transaction, in that order, right? So here are the details, right, of this row, isn't it? For this order ID, these are the collection of data that is being purchased, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5 items purchased. Coupon code applied, whatever it was available. Item ID is this, M Stan K. Item name is Standard King Mattress. Item revenue is this, price is this, quantity is this. So quantity of each item would be definitely 1, because 5 items were purchased in 1 quantity each. Can we query this to find out? Absolutely yes, right? We need to group and we need to aggregate based on the function requirement, right? Either it is counts or min-max. Correct? So the objective of showing the data set here is to understand this, the mostly this column items, because we are extensively going to work on to this array of structs, correct? Wherein we have the item IDs and item names. Can you say in this item name also, we have some space here, right? Say king, say standard twin mattress, say premium twin mattress. So can I say these can be called as quality? Say it is a standard quality, this is with premium quality, right? No? It differentiates the item, right? Similarly, this is the size, king size, queen size, twin size, and so on. Correct, no? And similarly, this is the product. Either it is a mattress or it is a, but that is again a string. One string having 3 different attributes which can be retrieved out of that string. Correct? Right, no? And all those are with their respective item IDs. Okay, so just to understand this data, we have array items column, we have array of struct, that means items is having more sub columns into it, and in that also we have some columns wherein string data is there, which can have multiple attributes which we can split as per the requirement. Now we listed the functions to work upon, right? So we'll work upon the arrays and we'll work upon the collection arrays and the strings. This is what we listed, right? So that's what our focus area today is, on to arrays and string with these functions, collect, set, explode, and so on. All right. So let's get started with this. This is the sample data. Let me arrange it again in the as ascending order of the item quantity purchased. Most of the transactions will have 1 as a total item quantities, and few transactions will be having more than 1 as well. So the string functions that you have explored few days back, right? In ADF, you explored cases, you explored this. That's where today you might be confident that you know this function. Otherwise, it would have been come first time, right? Then we had to understand what this function does and all. So that's how your self exploration works and helps you, right? No. So there are the functions. You have already used some of the function, right? And this is also you have already used somewhere, right? This is also you have used somewhere. Is this used? Regexp replace regular expressions to replace some data, similar to translate and all. तो जिन्होंने एक्सप्लोर किया है असाइनमेंट, those people would have come across these functions. So isn't it feels good when we have done something onto it and it is coming in our way, right? And definitely these are the functions everyday use, data cleaning, we're going to use it. If it is new, then it may take more time, for us to explore. That's where, these are the string functions that you have to see here, right? Including the translate, the regexp replace, the regexp extract. These will work on to regular expressions or, substrings of the data. So that means the standard twin matrix, the premium king matrix and all, hopefully they will be used into that data sets, right? The L trim to remove or to clean the spaces, right? R trim भी होता है क्या? Right? To clean the spaces and leading and trailing spaces out of the strings so that we can have an absolute string available. That is what cleaning is, right? That is what ETL of the data is. And collection functions will look into the array contains, of course, it will result Boolean, right? Nulls if the array is null and true if the array contains some values or false if it doesn't, right? Elements at, of course, it will be used to access the positional elements into an array, right? The explode will be creating a new row. Explode will be creating a new row for each element in the given array or map पर. हर वैल्यू के लिए एक नया रो. वर्ड काउंट में स्प्लिट किया था ना, right? So that's how it is. And then we have some aggregate functions on top of the collection data, which is collect list and collect set. You all have gone through it. So when I'm giving the assignment, I will definitely assume that you have gone through it. If not, it is your responsibility to go through it. Right now? So here, let's get started. What is the use case here is we need to find out the user purchases. That means list all the size. We talked about king size, queen size, twin size, right? And the quality options, the standard, the premium, and whatever will be available, purchased by each buyer. Maybe to understand the profile of the users, right? Maybe to understand what is the purchase pattern of the users, right? Based on when they visit onto the websites, whatever kind of analytics they have to do, right? They can do it based on the data. And therefore, these are the 5 questions that we may need to solve in order to get this data. The 5 questions are to extract the item details from the purchases. That means the extraction of collection items, the arrays, the structs, then extract the size, that means extraction of string and quality, right? From the matrix and the below purchases, splitting the strings, right? Combining the data, mean we may have to union it again, join it again, and list all the size and quality options for each user, grouping by on all the data that we have splitted. Right? So this is a kind of hint that we have for this problem statement. If this kind of problem statements comes in directly in real world use case, you may not have these hints. You have to directly solve by using your experience on working upon these types of use cases. Am I right? So यहाँ पे ये है, आगे नहीं होगा. When you actually start working somewhere, no one will give you the hint how to do it. There will be a problem statement, you have to solve it. थोड़ा सा गाइडेंस theoretical 2 मिनट का 5 मिनट का can give, but will not sit with you. Okay, I will give you today some ज्ञान for half an hour, 1 hour, like training, and then you do it. ऐसा नहीं होता. All right. So keep this in your mind all the time. What are you doing? What you need to do? And this is where you need to first. This is the first problem statement, right? Extract the item details from purchases. Here we have more hints for solving this because we are in a learning environment. The hint is to explode the items field in the data frame df, which we have already created from the sales path, isn't it? And then with the results we have to replace the existing items field. We have to select all the emails, the item names fields as well, because we have to get the item details, and then split the words in the item name as well into an array and alias it as a details column with column, right? So here it is. Every day this will be coming in, every day this will be coming in as well. अगर PySpark API यूज किया है तो, नहीं किया है तो Spark SQL में similar to with column function कोई दूसरा function आपको यूज करना पड़ेगा. Right, so here it is. We have this data frame. I will zoom it in. Details df is the new data frame we are creating from the existing one. On the existing data frame, we calling this column which is array of struct, right? And therefore we are invoking a function called explode on the items column. तो क्या होगा इससे? तो जो 5 यूनिक आइटम्स थे ना परचेस्ड, राइट, एक ही रो में थे, उसके लिए वो ऑर्डर आईडी 5 बार रिपीट होगा, करेक्ट ना? एंड देन वी विल हैव द 5 rows of data, right? Getting it or not? Right? Huh? We learned that the explode function is used to convert or create rows, right, for each item in an array. तो हमारे पास array कौन सा कॉलम है? आइटम्स का है, राइट? उसमें जहां पे एक ही आइटम परचेज किया है वहां पे तो वो एक ही ऑर्डर आईडी के लिए एसोसिएट करेगा. जहां पे एक से ज्यादा है वहां पे एक ऑर्डर आईडी का वैल्यू है और उसके लिए 5 प्रोडक्ट्स है एक ही रो में, तो उसको एक्सप्लोर करना पड़ेगा ना 5 rows में. And then the same order ID will be attached to all the 5 items purchased, right or wrong? So here it is, and then we are also selecting an email column, right, from the email column and the item name column from the items sub column, right? Parent column name dot child column name जियो में किया था, right? City and state के लिए with column details. यहाँ पे एक function because we have to split the string using space character, standard twin matrix. Standard is quality, twin is size, matrix or pillow is the type of product. All right, and here we are having this. So order ID की जगह पे we have only email here. We've not extracted any order ID. We just use this, and we have this. So what we did here using a split function, we could split this data, but that data is now arranged again in a array, right? Here it is. The schema of this data frame is this one. Email is a string column, item name is a string column, and इस item name को ही हमने split किया है, right, into the array of strings. All right. So एक ट्रांजैक्शन में अगर मैट्रिक्स भी था, पिलो भी था, अलग मैट्रिक्स भी था, तो all those are now splitted into multiple rows, correct? Yes, no? Using the right explode functions. So यहाँ पे whatever we have now, is the data. See, I'm not executing this one to write into a JSON. This was done for some assignment. I'll come back to it later. So this is the data we have. And we can see now in details column, we have the array containing the quality, size, and the product type. Correct, no? The size, sorry, the quality, if it is standard, premium, and all, the size, and the product, if it is mattress or if it is pillow, right? So first sub-task to reach to our ultimate goal is done. All right. Then the next thing is extract the size and quality options from the mattress purchase. अब हमारे पास कुछ है details DF में already, है ना? तो उसमें क्या करेंगे? Filter लगाएंगे because this details column is an array. So we are checking for the array contains, and if the product is mattress, because we have to only work for mattress, not for pillows, right? करेक्ट ना? सो हम लोग पहले सिर्फ मैट्रिसेस का डेटा फिल्टर आउट करेंगे, उसमें से विथ कॉलम एक साइज और एक क्वालिटी का नया कॉलम क्रिएट करेंगे, राइट? एंड एलिमेंट्स एट इन दिस डिटेल्स कॉलम पोजीशन फर्स्ट एंड सेकंड, राइट? क्वालिटी फर्स्ट पोजीशन पे है, फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड. यहाँ पे एरे है तो इंडेक्सिंग से नहीं करेंगे. इंडेक्सिंग कब करते हैं? जब वैल्यू को रिट्रीव करना है. ओके, location elements at position 0 matlab first position, right? So this is position, this is not the index of the value. So index plus 1 will be the position, right? Getting it, everyone? So the first position is for either it is standard, premium, whatever it is, the quality. Second position is for the size, if it is twin or whatever the king mattress or queen mattress and so on. And that's where our data is here. All this was the details data frame, first one. These are the new columns. यहाँ से first is this, second is this, right? The sequence can be any. You can have quality and size in different sequence. That's absolutely fine. All good. And therefore we're now going to do the same thing with the pillow purchase as well. यहाँ पे सिर्फ मैट्रेस की जगह पे पिलो आएगा. एंड दूसरा डेटा फ्रेम है हमारे पास, जहाँ पे एक डेटा फ्रेम में मैट्रेस का डेटा, दूसरे डेटा फ्रेम में पिलोस का डेटा विथ ऑल द डिटेल्स रिक्वायर्ड, राइट? सिर्फ फिल्टर किया है दूसरे प्रोडक्ट पे, दूसरे डेटा फ्रेम में लोड करने के लिए. All good. And then we have to combine the data and perform a union on this one and drop the details column, क्योंकि उसकी जरूरत नहीं है. उसके ऊपर जो प्रोसेसिंग करना था कर दिया डिटेल्स कॉलम पे. करेक्ट ना? विथ कॉलम था ना डिटेल्स, उसका काम हो गया. काम हो गया तो उसको डिलीट कर दो, ड्रॉप कर दो. So therefore we will invoke a function here, okay, to perform a union. यहाँ पे एक नोट है, यहाँ पे एक फंक्शन है. The function is union by name. The function that we had earlier was count, approx count distinct. Similar to that, you may say you have union functions, you have union all functions, and you have union by name function. What could be the difference, right? So here it is the note, the data frame union method. Here we have not used. We've used a union by name method or function or transformation. This resolves the column names by position. कौन सी? ये वाली. यहाँ पे साइज एंड क्वालिटी, यहाँ पे साइज एंड क्वालिटी. ठीक है, ठीक है. अच्छा, बोल दो उनको कम करने के लिए. Okay, so the union method, what I was talking about, resolves the columns by their position, and you should only use this union method when the two data frames have exactly the same schema, including the column order as well. अगर ऐसा नहीं है, स्कीमा डिफरेंट है, कॉलम आइडर कॉलम का सीक्वेंस भी अलग है, और फिर आपको यूनियन करना है, तो उस केस में वी विल यूज द यूनियन बाय नेम. तो वो क्या करेगा, हर कॉलम नेम को चेक करेगा बाय नेम. तो पोजिशनल से यूनियन नहीं करेगा, नेम से करेगा. So it doesn't matter if the sequence of the columns is different and the schema of the data frames are different. It will union the columns by their names. Okay, so when to use union, when not to? When we have both the data frames same with the same schema, then you can use union as well. If not, then union. Very small things, but important. Okay, with respect to interviews, with respect to actual usage as well, which will give you the edge over the others when you know these small things better, right? And you present those anywhere you get the opportunity to present. अगर किसी ने आपको इसके बारे में क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछा, लेट से इंटरव्यू में, तो bring their attention to the concepts that you know. Make them aware कि you know these things also. You have not asked me, but I know this. हो सकता है ना, देखो लक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट प्ले करता है इंटरव्यूज में. वी प्रिपेयर, बट हम प्रिपेयर करेंगे वही पूछेंगे ऐसा नहीं है ना. सो इंटरव्यू का खराब जाना मतलब हमें कुछ नहीं आता ऐसा नहीं होता, उसको भी कुछ नहीं आता. उसको जो आता है वो पूछेगा, राइट. उसका जो रिक्वायरमेंट है वही पूछेगा ना. तो इंटरव्यू अगर खराब होता है तो डोंट गेट डिमोटिवेटेड, इट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ लक. और जब आपको चांस मिलता है तो ब्रिंग हिज और हर अटेंशन टू दोज थिंग्स दैट यू नो व्हिच कैन गिव यू एन एज. नहीं पूछा तो बताओ मैंने प्रोजेक्ट में क्या किया, उसी वक्त बता दो सब कुछ. जितने भी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन पे आप कॉन्फिडेंट हो सब बता दो. when you introduce yourself, right, and your project, so that will bring their attention, no, to those things that you have done, instead of asking those things that they want or know, right. So that is why these things are, important to know, right. बहुत छोटे हैं लेकिन can make huge difference, right. Catches win matches, right. Yes. Similar to that, get an opportunity, grab it. You don't generate it, करना तो पड़ेगा ना. Some efforts we definitely have to put in, हर जगह पे पुट करने पड़ेंगे, not only in the job but in getting the interviews cleared as well. There also we have to put in more efforts. Bringing the attentions of their interviewer to what you have done is very important. All right, I hope this is clear. And this is where we have the data, and we have performed a union by name onto this data frame, and we have these columns wherein we have used a drop as well, right, to drop the details column which was not required. So we have emails, we have item names, we have their respective size and the quality purchased. Requirement can be anything. यहाँ पे भी आपको if it is mattress or a pillow, whatever is there, they may ask you to put in. Then in that case, you have to have the more rows of data. Sorry, more columns of data, isn't it? Where am I right and where I am wrong? Rows चाहिए, column चाहिए, column चाहिए, right? जहाँ पे वो कॉलम डिफरेंशिएट करेगा, दिस बिलोंग्स टू मैट्रेस, दिस बिलोंग्स टू पिलो, जहाँ पे मैट्रेस नहीं वहाँ पे नल, जहाँ पे पिलो नहीं वहाँ पे नल, अगेन उसको क्लीन करो, whatever requirement is, right? So here is the required data. We have used some functions such as elements at, array contains, um, then split, correct, explode, lot of functions, and finally this is the main question to solve. List all the size and quality options bought by each user, wherein we will now perform the operations on the union data frame, correct? No, each user तो यहाँ पे order ID तो नहीं है, क्योंकि यूजर आईडी होना चाहिए था, या यूजर नेम, तो यहाँ पे यूजर नेम है, यूजर नेम इन द सेंस वी हैव यूनिक ईमेल आईडी ऑफ द यूजर, राइट? राइट, नो? So the problem statement is list all the size and quality options by purchased by every user, each user. तो ग्रुप बाय करना पड़ेगा ईमेल पे, राइट? एंड यूनिक है क्वालिटी तो हम कलेक्ट सेट यूज करेंगे, राइट ना, on the size and quality. So here it is, because we are using more aggregate functions in one go, aggregation, right, followed by collect set on size as alias as size options, collect set on quality alias as quality options for each user, right? Email in the sense user. And here it is, right? So some users wherein they have multiple size options and with respect to their quality options as well. All right, all good. Many different collection functions used in one use case, right? In one problem statement. The problem statement was subdivided into 5 subtasks, right? So usually when we get a task, we bring in, we split it into multiple small tasks. We identify from where we can start. वो कोड करते तो उसके पहले क्या होता है, किसी भी प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज में फ्लो चार्ट उसी तरह से है ना. Flow chart is a logical representation of activities that we are going to do. So when we solve any problem or problem statement, we first bring it or we split it into multiple subtasks that we can start with and where we can end with, and then we start writing the business logic. Brainstorming होता है कभी भी अगर problem statement आए तो directly we don't take the data set and start doing the things. It takes time, right? So this is where, as of now, in this notebook, you may not this is an aggregate function. There are two aggregate functions we have, collect list and collect set. As the name suggests, set matlab collection items of unique values. List matlab collection items of duplicate values as well. तो वहां पे duplicate भी हो सकता है, यूनिक भी हो सकता है कलेक्ट लिस्ट में, लेकिन कलेक्ट सेट का उसमें सिर्फ सेट होगा, मतलब यूनिक ही वैल्यूज होंगे कलेक्शन के एरेज में, राइट? सो यहाँ पे हमें क्वालिटी को या साइज को रिपीट करने की जरूरत नहीं है, राइट? नो, सो हाउ मेनी items in with respect to these size and qualities the user have purchased. So unique values के लिए we have used a collect set function. Is it clear now? कलेक्ट लिस्ट कर दे तो हो सकता था ना रिपीट, राइट? दैट्स फाइन. तो डिपेंड करता है अगेन ऑन एवरी यूज केस. You might have used collect list maybe in the वर्ड काउंट वाला प्रोग्राम, और डायरेक्टली एक्सप्लोड ग्रुप बाय सम किया था, हो सकता है। हाँ, मे बी कलेक्ट लिस्ट वहाँ पे रिक्वायर्ड ही नहीं है, कलेक्ट लिस्ट कलेक्शन, लेकिन इसके पहले कलेक्ट लिस्ट किया था ना कल परसों में कुछ। अच्छा, एग्जीक्यूट नहीं किया। सो ओके, सो as you can see in this notebook, as of now there is no lab option, तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि रहेगा ही नहीं, we will add it now. Okay, these transformations are only onto data fields. Can we apply for different data types? Different data types in the sense? Absolutely, absolutely. But those columns should be there. It will match the column names. That's it, and union the data. So now we'll go back to let's say this one. The final DF is this, right? The options here. Okay. Now let me go here and sorry, not here. Here, I'll create a couple of commands, and I want to save the final output to dbfs. Okay. In. Now what is in that I will show you later. Options here. Dot. Tell me. सेव कब आएगा? जब हम राइट करेंगे। राइट इज ए डेटा फ्रेम राइटर क्लास, उसके बाद जो है सेव आएगा। राइट ना? So these objects will call the functions of data frame writer class. तो सेव करेंगे, इसके पहले हम लोग यूज करेंगे फॉर्मेट. Okay, let's say I want to write it in a JSON file dot save followed by, let's say, a path. Let's say file store slash tables slash I say avd पुणे का डायरेक्टरी. Let me do this way and cancel it first. avd pune underscore I say json. ग्रुप बाय ईमेल किया. हाँ, तो वो एरेज में आ गए ना, कलेक्ट सेट में. हाँ, तो इसीलिए तो या तो अगर यूनिक चाहिए तो कलेक्ट सेट यूज करो, आपको सभी डिस्प्ले करना है तो कलेक्ट लिस्ट यूज करो. क्लियर ना? क्या सचिन? Okay, then I'll write it here in CSV. So then I'll have to specify this as well. And what I should specify is option header true. Why? अगर स्प्लिट होता है मल्टीपल CSV फाइल्स में, तो हर फाइल को एक हेडर मिलना चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि सिर्फ फर्स्ट फाइल को ही हेडर है, बाकी फाइल्स में नहीं है. दैट इज व्हाई हेडर ट्रू. इनफर स्कीमा ट्रू करने की जरूरत नहीं है, बिकॉज वी आर नॉट रीडिंग द डेटा, वी आर जस्ट राइटिंग इट. सो यहाँ पे I'll change the directory name from JSON to CSV. All right. Now the problem is we cannot write it into CSV because array is not supported to write in CSV. Okay. So the task you have is to write this data in XML file format, not the CSV. A completely new thing. You may have to explore a lot of things to execute one single statement to write this data into XML file format. One more thing, I can use this here option this one, right? No, right? यहाँ पे JSON अंडरस्कोर gzip, ठीक है, इसको कॉपी कर लेता हूँ, यहाँ पे पेस्ट करता हूँ, ठीक है, तो ये यहाँ से रिमूव कर लो. It will create some confusion. This was the command, right? Now I have cleaned it and I put it over here. XML as it is, जैसे JSON होता है, CSV होता है, वैसे नहीं होगा, ठीक है, इसके लिए बहुत कुछ करना पड़ेगा. So here it is, the data is written over here. Let us list out the contents once. Okay, I'll do this and then we can say display, right, followed by dbutils dot fs dot ls, and यहाँ पे the file path is, let's say पहले this one, right? So these are the JSON files, right? No, 800 फिर 01 फिर 02 फिर 03 4 5 6 etc. 7 files. Similarly, if I list out the contents of I think I copied it, wrong command. Yeah. So I'll put it over here. And यहाँ पे the directory name is underscore zip. And here we have the JSON dot, right? तो वैसे ही आपको लिखना है XML dot. All right. Mahavir, here. So this is the assignment. Apart from whatever you're learning into this, collect list, collect set, array contains at, elements at, whatever functions that we have explored. And apart from this, how many of you have developed the Python function for masking? Confidently हाथ ऊपर करो. 1 2 3. हाँ, कल एक टास्क दिया था ना, date add and subtract here करना पड़ेगा, right? And one more function, one more task, one more assignment is to validate. This is number 2. This is number 1, these are the assignments. One is with respect to notebook, other is outside of the notebook. This is when I say with respect to, मतलब हमने write dot json and all किया है तो XML भी कर सकते हैं. प्रोजेक्ट पे भी आपको बोलेंगे XML में राइट करो तो करना पड़ेगा. नो ऑप्शन. वो pyspark में होता नहीं है, डेटाब्रिक्स में कैसे करेंगे? नहीं, all those things will not be accepted. ऑलराइट. हाँ, ये डेटा फैक्ट्री में नहीं होता. XML में फाइल को राइट करना डेटा फैक्ट्री में नहीं होता. तो यहाँ पे the second assignment is the function that you are developing for masking. Okay, add into the masking function in the sense उसमें अभी इसको ऐड नहीं करना. let me keep it separate. validating email आपको लिखना है एक फंक्शन, पाइथन फंक्शन टू वैलिडेट ईमेल. हाँ हाँ, स्टैटिक वैल्यू फिलहाल स्टैटिक वैल्यू पे ही, उसको बाद में एक्सपांड करेंगे ना डायनामिक पे या डेटा फ्रेम पे. तो एक फंक्शन आपने लिखा मास्किंग के लिए, उसको एक्सपांड करना है डेट ऐड एंड ईयर सब्सट्रैक्ट करने के लिए. एंड एक दूसरा फंक्शन लिखना है जो सिर्फ आपका ईमेल वैलिडेट करके देगा. इफ द गिवन स्ट्रिंग इज एन ईमेल और नॉट. ठीक है. हाँ सॉरी, यूजर डिफाइंड एब्सोल्युटली ऑलरेडी अवेलेबल नहीं है. पैटर्न्स अवेलेबल है रेजेक्स के, वो पैटर्न आपको यूज करना पड़ेगा. All good. Need to invest a lot of time going from here. Correct? So let's see what happens if I do instead of CSV. Please observe here. If I do an XML, ठीक है? तो CSV के लिए कुछ प्रॉब्लम था. Array is not supported by CSV. If I write an XML, तो it says इसको सॉल्व करना है. The error here. Sorry. उससे क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? ये तो डायरेक्टरी नेम है. दिस इज फाइन. उसको XML दिया क्या नहीं दिया कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम यू हैव टू सॉल्व. क्लास ही नहीं है XML का, राइट? हाँ सॉरी, इम्पोर्ट करून होईल पण इम्पोर्ट करायचं काय ते महत्वाचं आहे ना. सो अ क्विक हिंट आई विल गिव यू. हियर ऑन द क्लस्टर देयर इज वन टैब ऑफ लाइब्रेरीज. यहाँ पे एक ऑप्शन है, यहाँ पे कुछ इंस्टॉल करना पड़ेगा, राइट? क्योंकि XML is not the default supported file format. JSON, CSVs, Parquet are all the default support. अगर default support नहीं है तो support create करना पड़ेगा, right? तो जो क्लास XML हमने फॉर्मेट में स्पेसिफाई किया है उसके क्लास को यहाँ पे लाना पड़ेगा, right? That's it. So with this assignment part, we are moving upon the next topic of discussion. All right, all good. So here it is. सेम थिंग. बट वहां पे इंस्टॉल करने का तरीका क्या था? हम लोग डाउनलोड करके जार फाइल डाउनलोड करते थे फिर इंस्टॉल करते थे. यहाँ पे तो क्लाउड में है, तो उस जार को यहाँ पे आपको सर्च करना पड़ेगा रिपोजिटरीज में. यहाँ पे एक्सटर्नल डाउनलोड नहीं है, यहीं पे इंस्टॉल करना पड़ेगा. इंस्टॉल करना है तो यहीं पे कहीं पे सर्च करना पड़ेगा, राइट? या तो मेवन है या anything else, py है, jar है, whatever, you have to search here, या फिर यहाँ पे इंस्टॉल करो, ड्रॉप करके डाउनलोड करके. बट दिस ऑप्शन इज नॉट सुटेबल इन प्रोडक्शन ऑल्सो, हम लोग एक्सटर्नल नहीं करते, यहीं पे करना पड़ेगा. इफ आई क्लिक ऑन मेवन, आई गेट समथिंग टू सर्च. तो यहीं पे सर्च करो, यहीं पे इंस्टॉल करो. एक्सटर्नल डाउनलोड एंड इंस्टॉल करने की जरूरत नहीं है. हाँ, अब हिंट से भी ज्यादा दे दिया है. दिस इज व्हाट यू नीड टू सर्च अ लॉट. लेकिन उसमें भी बहुत सारे डिपेंडेंसीज है. आपको जो लाइब्रेरीज मिलेंगी उसके, उसको पाइसपार्क का कौन सा रन टाइम आप यूज कर रहे हो उसके बेस पे आपको इंस्टॉल करना पड़ेगा. एज इट इज नहीं मिलेगा सब कुछ. ट्रायल एंड एरर में भी हो सकता है, 2-3 लाइब्रेरीज को इंस्टॉल करके चेक करना पड़ेगा, एंड सो ऑन. तो कैन आई से दैट इफ आई गेट एन XML फाइल एज एन इनपुट, आई कैनॉट इवन रीड इट डायरेक्टली, है ना? तो उसके लिए वी हैव टू आइदर रीड और राइट, वॉट एवर यू हैव टू डू, यू हैव टू डू इट टुडे. टुडे मतलब not today, you can take 2-3 days also parallelly. Notebooks assignment every day you solve, and other assignments give some time to them, right? They won't be solved immediately in a day or two. It may take some time, considering the level of experience that we have, so that is fine. बट उसको पार्क मत कर दो कि वीकेंड पे देखेंगे. So every day you need to put in some efforts to do that. All right. So let me quickly take a break. I'll pause. So as we, I discussed earlier about these activities, right? That we may tend to add some products in the cart, and then we may remove those based on the budget, right? If we come and see final price that we have to pay, so accordingly we may remove the items from the cart and we may park those for the purchase later, right? So all these actions that we do, adding a product, removing it, adding it into wish list, all these are recorded, right, and analyzed based on your purchase needs. And then, you may start receiving emails, promotional emails for those items which you were interested in buying. And I hope almost everyone might have experienced this. So don't be in the break mood only, come back and have your focus here. Experienced or not? No? नहीं किया है तो करके देखो. Right? We have all the applications installed on the in our phones, right? So, based on the applications that we use, based on the lifestyle that we have these days, using more and more social networking applications also result in more purchases, suggestion hota hai, the psychological impact that it has also matters. So these things are important when it comes to any action that we perform onto the e-commerce portal. And that's where we are looking at such a use case now with some functions, listed as additional functions over here in this notebook. The objective is to apply built-in functions as well to generate new data for new columns. मतलब कुछ प्रोसेस करके नया डेटा जनरेट करेंगे, नए कॉलम्स जनरेट करेंगे. Apply data frame NA functions to handle null values. We'll also join the data frames as well. I remember I've asked you to read about AQE, right? and the catalyst optimizer. The reason to touch upon that topic is because of this function. We'll discuss it later. As of now, so the methods that we are going to use for data frames and a function is fill, and the aggregate functions such as collect list, collect set, explode, call, and by the way, what is this? Have you ever used it? नहीं? पाइथन में भी नहीं यूज किया? ठीक है. Anyway, so we have these functions over here for data frame any functions. We have drop, we have fill, we have replace. Drop returns a new data frame by omitting the rows, right? जो जिसके ऊपर हम drop function को call करेंगे. Filling will replace the null values with a specified value, and replace will replace a value with another value. We'll be using few of these functions. Non-aggregate or miscellaneous functions, we have used some here, right? Call use किया है, listener use किया है, couple of functions that we are going to use here for certain things. So this is for to generate a column with a literal value or constant value, you can say constant. Okay, say for example, all our mobile phones will start with +91, है ना? So +91 can be appended as a constant value. तो किसी फॉर्म्स पे ऑनलाइन पोर्टल पे लिखा होता है कि डू नॉट यूज +91, जस्ट एंटर योर 10 डिजिट का मोबाइल नंबर, right? So based on the country selected, they will use this literal value to append it, right? And your phone number will be based on the country code and all. Similarly, we have some random function to generate random column values, right? Based on the distribution that we will be using, right? Samples uniformly distributed are in this format. We'll be using this now as well to generate some random values. Joining data frames, we have the join function here. The join is a transformation, like select is a transformation here. All right. And we can perform the default inner join, the outer joins, the left outer, the right outer, and so on. And here are the syntaxes given. So on the left hand side is the first data frame, invoking the join transformation, the name of second data frame as the argument to join, followed by the column name or column names to perform the comparison. Syntaxes, okay? These are the syntaxes. You can use a full outer join, you can use a left outer join, right outer join, and so on. You have to specify the hint over here about the type of join you want to specify, along with the join operations on the respective data frames and their columns. All right. Just syntaxes, we're not going to perform all the joins. So obviously here we are, we have a separate session for it, wherein the joins will come in, the optimizations of joins will come in, and so on. So based on whatever we have seen as a syntax of the functions, here is the operation or the use case that we are going to solve is the abandon carts lab. It means whenever a user adds a product and removes it from the cart, we need to track that one. All right. Which product we need to, or which actions that we need to track is the removed from the cart, abandoned, right? Which are not resulting into a transaction. Correct, no? Sorry? No, I don't think so. हाँ, माउस ओवर नहीं है वो एक्चुअली, वो टाइम चेक करते हैं कि कितने सेकंड्स के लिए आपका माउस कौन से प्रोडक्ट पे था, या व्हाट यू आर विजुअलाइजिंग, that is doable.
वो मैंने जो ई कॉमर्स का डेटा सेट दिया था, इफ यू रिमेम्बर इन दी हडूप, कुछ था ना, डेटा सेट दिया था मैंने आई थिंक।
इवेंट ट्रैकिंग के कुछ फंक्शंस रहते हैं, जैसे कि फेसबुक का मैंने तो पिक्सल का है कुछ, और गूगल का हम लोग जीटीएम वगैरह यूज करते
हाँ, इवेंट ट्रैकिंग is separate, but what you are saying is that is also true. We track the time spent by user on a particular page, particular location on that page.
हैं, सेशन भी कहते हैं, और
Exactly.
स्टेट भी कहते हैं, अगर यूजर पर्टिकुलर
Correct. Right. If in within, let's say, 2-3 seconds you go and come back, that is also tracked.
फोकस करना हो, तो प्राइस पे ज्यादा फोकस है, और यूजर का या
हाँ, अगर वो स्पेसिफिकेशन को ज्यादा सर्च कर रहा है भाई, तो उस पे भी होता है सिमिलर प्रोडक्ट्स को recommend करना. So that building a recommendation engine, all those are again data engineering plus data science things, automated machine learning, right? वहाँ पे एट दी बैकएंड कोई बैठा नहीं होता कि कौन कितने टाइम तक कर रहा है, right? So it is a machine that tracks it. So those machine learning algorithms will be there. हाँ. Hmm. All right. So please observe over here. So this is the task that we have to do to understand which products or which user did not result into the transactions, right? So first, to get the abandoned cart items for emails, checking the users, right? Who are not done with the purchases. This is what we have to do, right? Understand कि किसने कौन सा प्रोडक्ट परचेस नहीं किया. परचेस किया वो तो ट्रांजेक्शन्स में मिल जाएगा, राइट? सेल्स के डेटा में. तो यहाँ पे first we need to solve this problem by breaking it into 5 subtasks. So the first task is to get users, right, of converted users, right, emails of converted users of from the transaction. मतलब जिन्होंने transaction कर लिया वो पहले filter out कर लो, right? Then join this with the user IDs. तो user IDs सभी होंगे transaction में, ऐसा नहीं है, right? User IDs मतलब total users. Out of them, some are doing some transactions, some are not doing some transactions, right? Get the cart history for each user. एक कार्ट में एक यूजर के क्या क्या था, सारे आइटम्स का हिस्ट्री. Then join that history with the emails who have been converted to transactions, right? And finally filter for emails with the abandoned cart items which have not been converted to the transactions. Little more difficult to understand. However, slowly once we go through, you will be able to understand. So the methods that we are going to use here is join, the collect set, the explode, lit, and fill. I have executed this setup just now, and we have all the data sets mounted. So this is my sales data frame, which already we know. The order IDs, the email columns, the transaction timestamp, and all these, right? Everyone is aware of all these columns in the sales data, correct? Yes or no? So I'm also creating one users data frame wherein I have the users data, right? And user IDs, the user first touch timestamp, and the email. All right. So user data है, sales का भी data है. So events का भी data लगेगा. Data frame number 3, which is created from events data, which is there in the events part, and this is a Parquet file, and I hope everyone is aware of this as well. The device, the e-commerce, the event name, right? This one. हर आइटम का इवेंट है यहाँ पे, राइट? देखा था कि इसके पहले, राइट? जब भी आपने इवेंट डेटा फ्रेम क्रिएट किया था, So yesterday also I said, no, just not only create data frame, observe the data into it. Right? अगर टास्क का डेटा फ्रेम क्रिएट करने का तो उतना ही करना है, ऐसा नहीं है. ऐड आइटम एक इवेंट है, राइट? तो जब भी कोई यूजर ऐड करता है आइटम को कार्ट में, तब it is an event. So different events are there, right? We don't have to look into all. As of now, this is the data, right? Of कितने डेटा फ्रेम्स का डेटा है यहाँ पे? 3. यूजर का है, इवेंट्स का है, सेल्स का है. So first we need to get the emails of converted users from transactions from the sales data frame. हम जितने भी email लेंगे यूनिक, उसका मतलब है उन यूजर ने ट्रांजैक्शंस किया है. करेक्ट ना? So here and then we will add a new column as converted with a boolean value. I know what is the time. You can ask me as well instead of checking into your phones. And this is where the new data frame will be created. All right. Then when I say this, है ना, कौन सा? These functions. Okay. We all have used some of this, some are not. So this is what now I'm just giving you the guidelines after, to use these data frames, and here is the filling part. क्या क्या करना है, राइट? पहले वो ईमेल फाइंड आउट करने हैं जिन्होंने ट्रांजैक्शन किया है, राइट? देन यू नीड टू फाइंड जॉइन दिस विद द यूजर आईडीज. तो यहाँ पे कौन सा डेटा फ्रेम है हमारे पास? एक नया वाला डेटा फ्रेम और एक यूजर्स का डेटा फ्रेम, राइट? उनको ज्वाइन करो, फिल्टर करो जहाँ पे ईमेल नल नहीं है, एंड देन जहाँ पे कन्वर्टेड ट्रू नहीं है वहां पे कन्वर्टेड को फॉल्स लिखो. मतलब वो ईमेल जिन्होंने ट्रांजैक्शन नहीं किया, राइट? दिस इज द फिल इन पार्ट. ऑल राइट श्रेया एंड yes, what is the fill in part? रिकॉर्डिंग में देख लेंगे. Then the third subtask is to get the cart item history of each user. The hints are you have to group the data, explode the items first. Okay, हर item के लिए एक नया रो बनाओ from the events data frame. Then user ID पे group करो and एक set बनाओ item IDs का. Event में, sales में नहीं, right? तो कंपेयर करेंगे ना, इवेंट्स में तो इसके पास आइटम थे कार्ट में, लेकिन इसको सेल्स में कन्वर्ट नहीं किया है. तो दीज आर द यूजर्स हु आर नॉट डूइंग दिस transactions. You have removed the items from the cart, and then you have to join somewhere for the understanding of this, and finally generate the data wherein the users have not converted to transaction. Again, considering this, that you've learned some topics based on which this is the real-time use case that you need to solve, right? Assignment. When you see यहाँ पे hints भी हैं, hints लेके एटलीस्ट सॉल्व कर लो, बाद में hints भी नहीं मिलेंगे. हाँ, हिंट नहीं मिलेगी, तो यही तो एक्सपीरियंस यहाँ पे बिल्ड कर रहे हो ना. See, there is no option to this. रिमेम्बर मैंने हडूप में ही बोला था, बहुत सारे असाइनमेंट्स आने वाले हैं स्पार्क में, इफ यू गो एंड वॉच द रिकॉर्डिंग्स अगेन फॉर हडूप. This is what I have the visibility to give you. I don't know if you all are comfortable with it or not, and I don't care also. What I care about is the people should be comfortable here and start it. Otherwise, it is your life, your money, your time that you have invested. If you want to waste it, it's your decision, right? Sorry. यहाँ पे जितना प्रेशर झेल लोगे उतना आसान होगा आगे, अदरवाइज नहीं. To be honest, I can share all the solutions, but I don't want to. I have all the solutions. उसका एक separate folder है मेरे पास, सारे notebooks के solutions है, but I don't want to share. Rather, I will never share. So other than notebook की जो assignment है, for example, writing XML and all, that you can do slowly. जो notebook based है, उसको पहले priority देके कर लो. हाँ, ये क्या है, right? इंडेक्स 0 से करते हैं ना, लेकिन पोजीशन 0 मतलब कौन सी पोजीशन? फर्स्ट नो. एरे स्टार्ट विद 0 एज एन इंडेक्स. 0th पोजीशन मतलब कौन सी पोजीशन? 0th एलिमेंट मतलब कौन सी पोजीशन? पहला एलिमेंट ना. तो फर्स्ट पोजीशन, 1 एलिमेंट मीन सेकंड पोजीशन, इंडेक्स 1. तो 0 से n- तक n-1 तक एरे रहता है. पोजीशन इज 1 to n ओनली, नो, based on the size of array. So here I go, I stop